Good evening. Hello, Dreams of Wings. Hogmanay. What is Hogmanay? Am I just showing my incredible ignorance? I've heard of it, but that's all. Okay, so folks, we're going to be doing a pretty ambitious live stream. We're going to be doing a all night through to tomorrow live stream. We're going to be doing EGLL to JFK in the Constellation real time, which means that we will take off from Heathrow, fly over to Shannon. We're going to refuel at Shannon, do the transatlantic flight, hit Gander, refuel at Gander, then go to JFK, all as it would have been done in the late 40s, early 50s in a Constellation across the transatlantic route as BOAC. This is pre-British Airways. This is BOAC. You can't really see it at the moment because the lighting isn't correct, but you can see the skin that I've got on the Connie is the BOAC skin. We do have tower controller online at Heathrow, so that's going to be fun. And also, I'm rocking the Weathership add-on. For those of you who don't know, if I go to the radio panel, I've got this extra panel here, which I will explain in due course. So if we go to my BOAC timetable, you can see my route actually here is BO or British Overseas Airways Corporation 501 to New York via Shannon, Constellation Speedbird. So you can see London to Shannon to Gander to New York. You can see for some reason it adds in the London Airways terminal. So you depart the terminal at 16:30 and then you actually depart the airport at 1800. So we should be good to depart roughly in 20 minutes. And then we hit Shannon 29 at 8 p.m. and then we take off from Shannon 9:45 and then we hit Gander 7:45 in the morning. So that's the general plan. There's something coming in. Let us get set up. So let's go into the cockpit. Just move some things around here on my desk. Okay, so I do have GSX, although I'm not sure I want to use it because it's not fully configured for this aircraft at all.
Yes, sir. Electric on.
Where's my battery? There, okay, it's on. I need cockpit flood. There we go, cockpit flood. There we go, that's what I need. Right, now I've got some actual light happening, and I've got, yeah, and I've got that as well. Now, it's a little bit laggy now that I've turned some lights on. Ooh, very bad frame rates. 8 frames per second. That's ridiculous. Let's get the ground blower on, and it's 11 degrees Celsius, so we want the heater. Oh, that frame rate per second is horrible. It does this sometimes. My sim does this. goes from, see, 24 to 25 FPS, and it goes right the way down to 10, and it will sit at 10 or 8 for goodness sake.
All systems are ready.
It will sit way down until yeah, it's like it locks itself at 10 frames per second. Do not like that. I do not like that. Okay, hopefully it's going to improve as we go on. We've got all night to have this improve on us. Okay, cabin is cold, of course, so we're going to have to wait. No passengers on board, that's fine. That frame rate was horrible. I need a new graphics card. At least we're on the GPU. Transponder mode on, so we're good to go whenever we need. Hello Ian, good to see you. I'm struggling with bad frame rates at the moment. I've having this weird issue with P3D version 4.4 when all of a sudden, it must be some texture loading issue, I think, because all of a sudden the frame rates will go from the mid to high 20s all the way down and lock itself to 10 FPS for an extended period of time, and then it will just sort itself out again. Such a Twitch newbie here, only just press play and now I can see it. Press play on what? You mean the stream? Or okay. So anyway, while we need to get engine 4 started, at least engine 4, so that we can bring the cabin pressure up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my engineer station, and I'm going to put, he's going to bring them back again, is he? Engine 3, I'm going to crack the throttles. Superchargers don't need carburetor air, it's cold, that's fine. And we need to open our cowl flaps. Yeah, you see he's going to do that, isn't he? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, and actually no, he's opened the cowl flaps for me. At least it looks like he did. Okay, yes he did. Yeah. So he's opened those. And now I need to turn on the mags. Oh my goodness, this frame rate. Oh, please, somebody just kill me now. Off. Both. 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 And both. We could just close that like that. Oh, I was watching the map screen but didn't realize it was paused. Oh, okay. Right, so we've got those done. What we need to do now, not touch the generators, but what we need to do is turn on engine 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first actually, lol, we need to set fuel. It's going to go with a light load on the fuel because we're only going to Shannon from here. It's not that far away at all. We will need the heavy load for when we do the transatlantic leg. Sip of tea. Okay, just to make sure that the stream is going okay. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay, so engine 4, we want to prime. Let's go starter.
Turning 4.
Actually, sorry. I need the inertia. It's amazing what you forget, even if after not doing this a whole lot at all. Close. Come on, baby. I only want to start one engine. Let's just try this one more time. It's not crack the throttle as much as I needed to. I can see the RPM is coming up. Let's engage that. Come on. Fuel tanks are okay. Carburetor air is okay. Superchargers are okay. Mixture is rich. Cowl flaps, lower cowl and upper cowl flaps are open. Maybe the oil cooler flaps. I don't really think they do. The fuel pumps are on. I can see that engine is... Let's try one more time. Frame rate's still in the toilet. Not happy about that. That's an issue that I've been having with 4.4. Okay.
Okay, Captain. Oil pressure is rising. Generator is on. Oil pressure okay.
Oh, and now my... Yep, now my FPS has sorted itself out. It's now up to 25. And my cabin is now 21 degrees Celsius, so I can start boarding. It's generally not a good idea to board with the... Hello, engine 4? Hello, engine 4? Oh. Before I should take off, I should probably just check. Excellent, excellent, excellent condition. 60 hours since... Yeah, okay, so I don't need to touch that. Excellent, right. Okay, beginning loading.
Oil pressure is rising.
So 1800 time, 1 hour and an hour and a half, 2 hours and 30 cruise speed. It's about it's about 250. And cruising, I'm going to be cruising up at say 12,000 feet, and we're going to be doing EGL, Compton, BCN, Stu, CML, Sha, EINN. There we go. Okay, there's our flight plan filed. Let's go listen to ATIS. Let's go listen to ATIS while our cabin fills. No, it is that is what I'm looking for, isn't it? Okay, we've got ground and tower, excellent. So ATIS is 128.07.
Delivery, ground, and tower, nose, for start clearance, contact approach, on 119 XML 725, start seat of information, Foxtrot, and report aircraft type as current QNH on first contact with Heathrow. Heathrow information, Foxtrot, time 1720, automatic, arrival runway 27 right, departure runway 27 left, position level, flight level 65, wind 280, 5 knots, visibility 10 kilometer or more, forecast 2,100 feet, temperature +10, dew point +6, QNH 1035, delivery, ground, and tower, closed, for start clearance, contact approach, on 119 XML 725, and seat of information, Foxtrot, and report aircraft type as current.
Well, I can see ground and tower online, so I'm going to go to ground first. So that's 1217. Like so. Okay, cargo door is shut. So in terms of passengers, we have 38 passengers.
503 Alpha Alpha, touchdown now on 18.5. Have a year, goodbye. 18.5, have a year, bye.
Ugh, what is it with engine 4? Did I flood it or something? Come on. Hmm.
Cargo 8164, contact Heathrow Tower now, 118.5, happy new year, goodbye.
Cannot hear that guy.
And the Tower 118.5, got 8164 minutes, thanks for this service and
It's going to be so hard. It's going to be so hard to talk to him. What is... Alright, alright. By the way, everyone can hear my audio as... Yeah, we don't. Okay, so... First is Compton. And that's 114.35 at 274. At 274. Okay, so that's pretty much everything set up that we need. All we need to do now is to contact ground, get our clearance, and be on our way.
Ground, Steven 985 is ready for taxi. 185, just confirm that you push back.
Okay, we're gonna...
Clear to push and start.
Heathrow ground, good evening, Speedbird 501. Speedbird 501, currently gate 535, requesting IFR clearance as filed to Shannon, with information Foxtrot, QNH 1035.
Speedbird 501, Heathrow today, the Compton 3 Golf, for runway 2, 4731.
Just say again the squawk for us, and that's Compton 3 Golf at 27 left.
4731, please.
Oh, for goodness sake, what did he even say? Okay. And that's 4731 for Speedbird 501. And just to say, would it be okay to get vectors rather than a SID on our departure?
Just everyone, just stand by, I'll call you back and speak to London.
Okay. Yeah. That was 473. 4731. I will try. I think I.
Okay, your clearance has been amended. You're clear to Shannon. After departure, maintain heading 270 degrees and climb altitude 6,000 feet and QNH 1035 for 4731.
That is cleared to destination as filed. After departure, maintain heading 270, climb altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 1035, squawk 4731, speedbird 501.
501, thanks for the practical, sir.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay, that's all right. We can do that. So we need to change our rudder control to 270. Like so. And just like that, we've got our runway, we've got our clearance, we know 6,000 feet. We've got the QNH in. We're ready for push and start. Heathrow ground, speedbird 501, ready for push and start. Ah, screw it.
Weather at 5 for taxi to 27 left.
I didn't hear any of that. What? Yeah, I already started, Ian, because you need at least one engine started to bring the cabin temperature up to a temperature that people will tolerate, the passengers will tolerate, because it's AccuSim. Usually the Constellation would always start, in real life, as far as I know it, they would always start engine number 4, because it's furthest, it's on the opposite side of the fuselage. Yeah, because it's on the opposite side of the fuselage from where the passengers are boarding. The passengers only board on the left-hand side. The engine 4 would be spinning on the right-hand side, and they'd keep passengers away from that. And they would have this one on to pressurize and, well, not pressurize, but they would have it on. I despair of that, Sim. For goodness sake.
Rudder taxi H Alpha, and then hold it low. Yeah, that's what I got.
Right, hold lumen.
So it's in 501, I quickly pop out. Did you start?
Okay. Okay, I'm doing my pushback. Oh. Okay, face south. That's push and start approved, face south for Speedbird 501, thanks. I have a weird feeling that my... whatever. I'm not hearing... The Connie is terrible to try and turn. Speedbird 501, ready for taxi.
Speedbird 501, taxi Bravo, half-K. Speedbird 501, taxi Bravo, to half Lockheed. Lima Oscar, Kilo Kilo India.
Taxi Bravo to holding point Lockheed for Speedbird 501, thanks.
Right, fine contact sir. From that elevator full target, bye.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Roger, contact tower. Roger, Richard Tower 118. Hey, Roger, Richard Tower 118. And I have you to you. New Zealand, sir. So 50103 might as well contact tower now, we'll make some 5 good. Bye, happy new year.
Over to tower, thank you very much for radio frequency. Happy New Year, Speedbird 501.
Yeah, Speedbird 501. Thank you.
Okay, so over to tower is 118.5.
Eight five taxiing on Alpha touching point Lemon. Speedbird 9085, free for tower, hello, can you accept November Bravo 3 for departure? Say again please. Speedbird 9085, can you accept November Bravo 3 for departure? November Bravo 3, yeah. Speedbird 9085, Roger, from November Bravo 3, 27 actively takeoff. 2736 knots. Roger, from November Bravo 3, clear for takeoff. 27 left.
My brakes. That's better. Why is my brakes aren't calibrated correctly, I don't think. I wish I could get FPS like this at EGLL. Well, I'm not flying a PMDG or FS Labs. Most people who fly around EGLL are flying tube liners, and the only respectable tube liners are fairly FPS intensive. But the fact that I'm flying an A2A aircraft, which isn't as FPS intensive, is helping me slightly. But it is still, I'm still only getting like anywhere between 10 to 15, maybe 20 frames per second at the moment. That's Foxtrot there. That looks like that could be Foxtrot. Yeah, that's Foxtrot there, so I've got a little bit of ways to go. Is that aircraft taking off? It looks like it's trying to take off. Yeah, there you go. So we're... Oh, come on. Actually, let's pop the nav lights on. There you go. I haven't taken the Connie here yet, just the Spit and Bonanza. Yeah, well, technically, in real life, the Spitfire or the Bonanza would not be allowed into Heathrow airspace unless you're, you know, flying back in the good old days.
Stupid 985, contact control, 23.9, never mind. 23.9, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Stupid 501, Heathrow.
Go ahead for Speedbird 501.
Stupid 501, hello, can you accept November Bravo 3 for departure, or do you require full
November Bravo 3 should be fine for 501.
Speedbird 501, Roger, continue right Lima, and then from November Bravo 3, 27 left, clear takeoff, winds 270 degrees, 6 knots.
After Loki, turn right on Lima, and via November Bravo 3, clear takeoff 27 left for Speedbird 501. Thanks.
Speedbird 244, welcome to Heathrow, right onto Alpha, left link 58, Bravo, stand 53.
That's link 30. Right, so it's only Kilo, and then we turn after Bravo.
5 Bravo, and then 533.
Right, so that's Kilo, and then after Kilo we take the right-hand turn onto the runway. And this has been tricky to try and maintain a correct speed, taxiing speed in this thing. Maybe it's my, maybe I'm just not used to flying this short haul. I'm used to flying this almost up at the max gross weight, you know, long haul legs. But I really need the bathroom. I'm gonna have to wait until I'm quite advanced in the climb. Okay, there's Lima. Okay, there's Lima. Oh, that's me. That's me. That's Loki right there. So I'm going to take a right-hand turn. Just here. And he's given us clearance. He's given us takeoff clearance all the way, so we can literally just from here go landing, strobe, and we are good to go. Oh. Okay. "40" manifold. Positive rate, gear up. Gear coming up. A little bit of trim here. Flaps up. And Manifold back to 30. And RPM back to 25.
Good. 501, continuing your present heading and contact London 123.9 Happy New Year.
Continue present heading and over to London Control. Thanks very much for ATC and Happy New Year. Speedbird 501.
All stations, Heathrow Towers, map closing, contact London 123.9.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Easy 6040, runway 27 to London, 270 degrees 14 knots.
Look at that though. Look at them lights.
Good evening. Lufthansa 1 Romeo Lima. Forward 240 inbound button. 1 Romeo Lima, London West, Sunday, break 37 Victor Kilo, report you're heading to Southend radar, 130.775. Heading to the Southend radar, 130.775.
Just sink in, just soak up this view before we go up through the clouds. London Control, good evening, Speedbird 501, climbing through 2,000 feet, present heading 270.
Speedbird 501 London Control, so warm tide and climb now flight level 120.
Squawk ident and climb up to flight level 120 for 501.
Speedbird 3, just to confirm, City Airport is on our 2 o'clock.
250 by 5 will be back to ST736 to take you in under the CMA traffic. So Speedbird 234 left radio check 123.9.
Oh, look at that.
If anything...
That's beautiful. Look at that.
Speedbird 234, leave on board, heading 220 degrees, no ATC speed restrictions, responding 27 right.
27 land 1 heading 220, no speed restriction. Speedbird 234.
Ryanair 854, contact Manchester radar 18.575.
I really need to resume our navigation.
575, happy to get away.
Speedbird 9085, climb flight level 350. Roger, climb flight level 350.
Ooh. Just got the engine noises turned off for the moment, just so I don't miss any transmissions.
Zero 32 Foxtrot, turn left heading 050 degrees, descend flight level 110. Zero 32 Foxtrot, turn left heading 050 degrees, descend flight level 110.
0, 0, function.
Right, 180 flight level 380. Runner 180 on the control score 0305. 0305, runner 180.
It would be nice to resume a navigation, please. Hello?
Traffic.
London Control, this is Speedbird 501. Did I miss a transmission earlier on? Negative, okay.
London Control, good evening. This is Live Air 9 Papa Zulu flight level 380 over Kikit. Don't forget 9 Papa Zulu on the control. Good evening, Logan 1 Hotel arrival. When ready, descend flight level 250, level by Logan. Logan 1 Hotel arrival and when ready, send flight level 250 to be level to Logan 9 Papa Zulu. Ryanair 488, can we request an assembly? Ryanair 488 QA, descend flight level 200 level by L officers, traffic left 10 o'clock, range 10 miles, police below level, my flight inspection.
Oh, look at the cloud layer we've just come up through.
Level by what, level 200, 200, level by Logan.
Look at those stars. Beautiful.
Okay, level 200 by Elbow for Ryanair Air 4 Takeoff.
Oh, that's beautiful. I've just got the engine noises turned off for the moment because you never know when he's going to say something or not.
Zero 234 descends altitude 6,000 feet, QNH 103. 6,000 feet, QNH 103, 234. 032 Foxtrot, turn right heading 180 degrees, descend flight level 70.
I'm basically just going to blow right past Compton.
180 degrees, flight level, what was it again?
70.
Oh, that view.
Can you repeat the heading? Just, so it's 7,000 feet.
Get the heading 180 degrees, it's just to get a bit of having paper it might have.
180 degrees, thank you.
234, turn left heading 180 degrees, 18 reduce minimum cruise speed or less. Left heading 180, walk and Suva 234.
My windshield heater is on.
78803, your voice. Hey, 800. 78803, sorry about that, it's a Logan 1 Hotel. Logan 1 Hotel, Scanner, 800. 1 Whiskey Lima, turn right heading 060 degrees. Right, 1 Whiskey Lima, turn right heading 060 degrees. Figure 234, turn right heading 25 degrees, when established on the local line, remain 27 right, 27 on side path.
Heading 25 degrees on assumption on local line, so 27 right, and we're reducing to 180 knots, 234.
234, next one established, speed 180, 4 west.
Water.
Morning, good evening, Jersey 227, Stansted, Southampton, looking for clearance to Stansted.
City TG gentlemen, clearance at the whole stand ready, push and start approved, QNH1036, temperature plus minor.
H1036, push and start approved, and we'll call you with taxi, Jersey 227.
We got 501, resume navigation, direct, Brecon, Bravo, Charlie, November.
Resume navigation direct Brecon. Thank you very much, Speedbird 501. Yes, he's given me what I wanted.
1 Whiskey Lima, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH1035.
Okay. So he's given me what I wanted, thankfully.
32 Foxtrot, descent to altitude 4,000 feet, QNH1035.
Wasn't big QNH1035, it's
Okay, so
So, sends a 1 Red Lima, Whiskey Photo, C4, Shannon.
coming up through 10,000 feet, we can turn our landing lights off now.
Zone 1 Bravo, right. One Romeo Lima, Zone 1 Bravo, arrival. 1 Bravo for arrival. One Romeo Lima. 234, speed 16, 4 west, continue approach number 2.
Okay, guys, we're going to go to the bathroom very quickly and then come back.
To take back off Sonic 1 Romeo, speed 600. Okay, speed 32 Foxtrot, descend down for altitude 4,000 feet.
Standing there for us to speed management and on the studio 40%.
Correct, altitude and have a okay then, time now, flight level 330. Easy straight, back off. I'm sending another later, true, that's different. Down the 1983, descend flight level 35.
Oh, is that flight level 35, so Canberra 833?
Thanks,
Roger, flight level 35, Canberra 833.
Once again, 9 Papa Zulu, descend flight level 160, level by Sailor.
Continue descent flight level 160 and please say the waypoint again.
Once again, 9 Papa Zulu, level by Sailor.
And now level 5 Bravo, Sierra Alpha Bravo Echo Romeo.
Okay, let's just sit and have a look at chat now that we are established in the cruise.
Jersey 227, ready for taxi.
Except that he's given us 12,000 feet.
TT7, taxi 151 enter backtrack runway 20, I think it's very short.
I just hit my cruise altitude.
Roll 1 and enter backtrack runway 20, Jersey 227.
We've got correction 3-2 Foxtrot, right, heading 300 degrees, cleared ILS approach runway 27.
300 degrees, cleared ILS approach 27. 27.
Right, 1364. No, no, 78803, decent level 250, level by loading.
Oh, 350, level loading, 78803.
Rolling camera 66 Whiskey, passing through flight level 212 for flight level 350.
Shamrock 66 Whiskey London, hello, Squawk 0356.
Squawk 0356, Shamrock 66 Whiskey.
Ryanair 488 Kilo, decent flight level 80.
Down 304 Ryanair 488.
Ryanair 4, flight Manchester, radar 118.575.
And it doesn't have to go middle now.
Okay, so Ian, so no Xmas present of the new VATSIM codec. I know, for goodness sake. The only thing that I can do to cope with the VATSIM audio codec is T. T is the only solace.
Stuart Romeo, could you just repeat the winds, please?
And I need to try and keep. I can't afford to bust altitude. Not in controlled airspace. Let's just bring that down. Let's bring that down. I haven't taken the Connie there yet. And he's given you your own nav. Does that include the flight level? No, he last cleared. Well, that's a good question. He last.
Bravo with you for level 350.
He last cleared me to flight level 210. When saying resume own navigation, I wouldn't automatically expect that. I wouldn't automatically expect to be able to just climb and descend at will while I'm in his airspace. I'd say resume own navigation is lateral navigation. I would definitely.
0303.
I'll definitely pass that by a friend of mine who's a real world pilot. Okay, there we are at full speed, holding quite nicely.
Straight ahead to flight level 80, squawking 342, Jersey 227.
227 correction, my 20 takeoff wind 2805.
Retrievation off Jersey 227 will roll in about 60 seconds, just setting up the numbers now.
Let's get half a zero,
You said 578, 0, no, not 0.
That's not clear, is it? Interpretation.
56, report call final frequency.
Well.
One with you, runway 27, turn on 270 degrees 14 knots, after landing taxi standard choice.
I don't know.
Station 4055, report call final frequency.
Well, because the thing is navigation is separate from altitude. Altitude is given to you by ATC. Navigation is, can I turn left and right when I want? And he said cleared. He said He said resume navigation. Let me just turn this guy down. Seriously.
Structured landing.
Ian, if you want to come into my Twitch, no, sorry, if you want to come into my Discord channel, please do, and we'll chat about it there. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, that's just...
Good evening, EGLL-KJFK, Lima, 50240, currently 12 miles from Puna. EGLL-KJFK, Papa Lima, hello, it's landing 26 left, descent flight level 160.
Hot coffee? Tea?
160 for 26 left.
48 nautical miles to Brecon Beacons.
Got it.
Just like uniform Alpha, London Control, hello, climb flight level 280.
Model matching. Nothing new. Oh, you know what I did? I haven't set.
WT27 report you passing down to Stevers Zero navigation with a right turn, direct west up Whiskey Charlie Oscar.
Right turn direct to west passing 700 feet, Jersey 227.
I actually didn't set standard QNH like a numpty. Now I'm climbing again.
Right again, now for Zulu, leave London, heading 220 degrees, landing runway 27 right.
Leave London heading 220 degrees and prepare for 27 right. Now up a little.
Send it over to True Speed 280 knots or greater.
Speed 280 knots or greater, Scandinavian 8 true.
Go to 332, push and start off through face west.
Let's see what area his control zone is.
Jersey TC7, level 5 off.
It's just London control.
Roll 5 Alpha, Jersey 227.
Response of 1 Romeo Lima, direct Leicester, descend flight level 200, level by Leicester.
Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get the sextant gauge to work, so I don't think we're able to do astronavigation, but it would be an amazing time to be able to do that, because I mean the weather is perfect for astronavigation up here above the cloud layer.
Hello, direct to Leicester, then forward 200. Easy 48 Papa Lima, descend 5080.
Okay, so while we're on our merry way, let's just pull up the let's turn that on. Let's cycle through to Shannon. 390.
580. Did you not hear that a minute ago? My mic must have been somehow.
Off the nose, it's about... If we are 285, which is about there, that means that it's about 288. So we're just picking up the see, there's a ground speed. Oh crap. Did it again. Did it again. Climbed 500 feet above my altitude. I'm really... Okay, basically I should be 12,000 feet, holding 12,000 in cruise. But at least we were able to pick up the Shannon frequency.
EG82 Hotel Whiskey on the control. Hello. Squawk ident, report your passing altitude.
Ident passing 4,000 for EG82 Hotel Whiskey.
EG82 Hotel Whiskey, climb now for level 330.
I'm flight level 330, EG82 Hotel Whiskey.
It sounds like he's saying tree.
You have Barclay Jersey 227.
Let's go, main Papa 2, return right heading 240 degrees, when established on the local lines over May 27 right descend on the Takeoff.
Pressurization set.
Established descend with the glide, man above the Zulu.
London's Scandinavian 803, bonus on high speed.
Scandinavian 803,
Watch out.
right, calling my back to via lateral main 26 left, fly heading 330 degrees.
I'm sure the VATSIM audio codec should be soon. It should be here soon. I mean, they said they were weeks away from releasing it, and they said that in like November or end of October. So I'm sure it should be around the corner. Okay, bang on our cruise altitude, and seem to be holding that nicely. Little bit of turbulence.
Speed 16 not 4 greater until 40 NA from a 27 access on with 2707.
Speed 160 knots or greater until 40 ME and runway 27 right, left to man above the Zulu.
Okay, so what we're going to do is once we take off from Shannon later tonight across the Atlantic, we're going to turn off the aircraft icon and track so that we are basically flying blind across the Atlantic and only navigating off of the weather ship and the Shannon frequency. So there's basically a radio frequency from Shannon. If we go to how is anyone supposed to understand that?
John, I'll say the 27 right, and can you put the waypoint in chat, please? Because you're broken.
Okay. For the land-based HF stations, 450 to 650 nautical miles range. So 450 to 650. I'm going to put a conservative 450.
Station 47,000. 2 miles southwest of Luton, report your call sign and frequency. Scandinavian 803, descend to altitude 6,000 feet, QH 1035 and speed 250 knots forward.
C5 not 6,000 feet, GLH1, so we'll get there in a second, couple of minutes or train.
3035.
Thanks, 1035, couple of minutes or train.
48, ready, send altitude 4,000 feet, GLH 1035.
10 down to 4,000 feet.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the conservative distance across the Atlantic. That's almost half of the distance of... That's almost half of the distance between Shannon and the weather ship in the mid-Atlantic. Which isn't bad. That's a pretty wide range there.
And 444, find now flight level 190.
Cannon 444, climb to and maintain flight level 190.
113.1 set. And that, to Stu, is 287.
Jersey 227, continuing report for impacted by emission with CT.
Continue present heading and expect weather vectors from 123 stands to Jersey 227.
I'm just checking the runway 23, number 40 present heading.
My apologies, it's runway, sorry, heading 043 degrees, Jersey 227 will maintain till further.
Station score from 7,000, 3 miles southeast of Luton, report call silent frequency.
We've lost altitude. My goodness. Can you pick up Shannon now? Yes, I can. You probably were watching that, but the long-range HF frequencies are 450 to 650 nautical mile range. And Shannon has one of those beacons. It does, at least in the weathership add-on, so I've got that. So I'm just increasing my propeller again to climb those 200 feet up to our cruise. Trying to hold our cruise altitude. It's never easy in the Constellation because there's no altitude hold function. You just have to trim the aircraft as best you can. So it's not always easy.
November 3280 degrees, and establish on the visualizer runway 26 velocity, number 5.
After 280, and always, I'm just wondering because of how I sounded like that. Work properly.
Discover ready, 803, descendable to 3,000 feet, slow down on 2 wheel approach, runway 27 knots, speed 180 knots, or greater.
So not so great to clear on absolutely 27 right 3,000 feet. It's company we left the picture.
Descend to 1 Romeo Lima, descend to 0. Descend to 1 Romeo Lima, descend to 0. Okay then. Car 123, descend to 80. Car 123, descend to 80. TD18 Hotel Whiskey, contact Power Control 128.1.
Tower 123, send it, flight level,
see.
You don't land on the hood or run over shit.
Yeah, no, thanks very much.
Take this step of choice, land on the hood or heading in with Joshua.
So we're due in Shannon at 8 o'clock.
160.
So actually, yeah, we're bang on the schedule.
743.
I'm actually just going to increase my speed as much as I can, because I don't want to be late. I want to keep to schedule. You can see the schedule says we'll get to New York at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
TC 7 times I'm heading 0303.
30 87.
before they have in the surface winds 270 degrees, 5 knots from 26
Wait, probably clear to land from wait.
Good evening, London. Bluebird 88 Mike Charlie with you, 824 Gatwick. How are you doing, Chris? Oh, sorry. Actually, hello, services by locally.
Yeah, that's right, Ian. But wind is always changing and your CG changes as fuel is burnt, so finding constant adjustment is needed, yeah. Basically.
Coming over the exit 03, there's no ATC speed restriction, runway 27 right, close to conference 270 right, so.
Be close to 27 right, maybe it's a HF.
Bluebird 88 Mike Charlie, ready for pushback from gate Q4, Gatwick, and Airbus A320. 288 Mike Charlie, 124, push and start approved, facing west. Push start approved, facing west. Bluebird 88 Mike Charlie.
Begin descent just as we get over Northern Ireland. Or Southern Ireland, sorry, the Republic.
And good evening, one control check 3 off for the flight level 360.
Next 3 Alpha London, good evening, walk 03.
Squadron 0371, check 3 Alpha.
Peter, are you there?
Oh!
Running control Shamrock, 66 Whiskey, for some reason my aircraft kind of deviated.
Hello?
We're now proceeding
Hello?
to
Peter?
Ha! You made me jump.
Now let me mute the stream, otherwise this is going to drive me crazy.
Of course, of course.
There you go.
Yeah, let me just turn ATC down, because ATC is making me crazy. There we go. Now I can hear myself think.
I know. It's unbelievable, isn't it, sometimes?
Mm.
You've just got, well, I don't know about you, but you've just got to anticipate what they're going to say, haven't you, really?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, they're going to give you a clearance, they're going to give you a thing, you know, a SID or star or whatever that's on your flight plan, and you kind of just grasp what, more or less what they say and then go with it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point the only thing he's going to do is hand me over to Unicom. So,
Yeah.
And once he realizes he can't grab a hold of me, he will send it to me in text, because he's got so many more people to look after. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So you know what's coming next, more or less.
That's
There's
right.
no one else around you, so there's no emergency
That's right.
deviation you needed. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a ridiculous thing to do on New Year's Eve, but there are more stupid ways of spending one's evenings.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, how have you been?
Yeah, good.
Been
I've been
alright?
very busy. Obviously, the holiday is extremely busy for broadcasters.
Oh
So
yeah.
I've been virtually every, football. We've had 10 games in 4 days or something.
Yes, I did
4
hear.
games in
I
10
did
days.
hear. Yeah, I did hear that that the Christmas period is really good for the football.
Yeah, well, it's work. There's a lot of work, and as a freelance, you can't turn it down, as you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's the Saturday before, then there's Boxing Day, and then tomorrow, and then then the next Saturday. So all crammed together.
Mm.
So once the holidays are out of the way, then I can then relax,
Yeah.
a little bit and enjoy it. But not at the moment.
Yeah.
So you've been in Ireland then, I hear. Is that right?
Yeah. I was over in Enniskillen, West Coast, for the week. So I just got back last week up to Inverness. It took me 12 hours door to door to get from County Fermanagh in Northern Ireland up to the Highlands of Scotland in Inverness. 12 hours door to door.
Driving and then ferry.
That was driving and then ferry, yes.
Ferry,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, hashtag YOLO.
Lovely drive there across all those
Yeah.
islands.
Yeah. We took the coach from the ferry up to Glasgow, and then I drove from Glasgow up to Inverness. It was beautiful scenery. Beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very much settling in for the long haul. It's going to be a fairly boring stream, but what I was hoping to do, of course, was to try out some stellar navigation for the first time, because it's as you can see on stream, it's a beautiful evening, every single star in the sky, except that I wasn't able to get my sextant gauge to work properly in V4. So
Yeah, I know you were trying to do that from last time. Someone pointed you in the right direction. I did look at it, but when I did it, I just stayed with the weather ships.
Yeah. So the ATC has just sent me this. No further ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Do not respond. I should go ahead and respond.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
Okay, I'm not responding. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. In caps as well. He's shouting at you.
Yeah.
Not responding caps. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm in Unicom now. I can relax. Woo! Now I can sit back and relax. Now no one cares for me. I'm off to do my own thing. Yeah.
Because last time you did this, did you go the other way, or no? You went this way as well, didn't you?
Well, I've been a number of ways in the Connie, because I did.
I've done this one, but
Okay.
I went. Did I go Shannon? Or, no, I went Prestwick. I went Prestwick, then over to Gander.
Oh yes, that's right. Because I've done a couple of things in the Connie. I've probably been.
I know. I followed you, but I couldn't remember whether you went Shannon.
I went.
Prestwick
I went
or
KLM Amsterdam to Prestwick, and then Prestwick Gander LaGuardia, I think.
All the way down. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And then of course I went ridiculously from London to Sydney, which was fun.
We all know that.
We all know that one.
I was stuck in. Where was I stuck? It was it Shanghai or somewhere for months or something? It's feeling like ages.
Yeah.
We zoomed down to the Middle East quite quickly, and then me and Vince were kind of following you, and then we just Malaysia somewhere, wasn't it?
It was Bangkok. We did a medical emergency and came into Bangkok, and the VATSIM controllers. It so happened that there were both VATSIM and IVAO controllers on for Bangkok at the same time, and the VATSIM controllers were horrible, and the IVAO controllers just were fine. It was just like, oh, cool, yep, sure,
Took it in stride.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
Cannot wait for this VATSIM audio codec update. It's just going to be night and day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wish they'd post an update or something, just to give us a little, see what the issues are, if they need any help or whatever.
Yeah. But there we are.
Yeah, we just wait and see.
See, 287. Let's just correct my course now. There we go.
Yeah, so I did it with the weather ships, going east to west like you're doing.
Yeah.
But I did at that point we didn't have the HF one, so it was just the
Yeah.
local weather ship one. So I was like about 50 miles off on the coast coming back,
Yeah.
which is
So
not bad in the great scheme of things. I was quite pleased with that.
yeah, I mean, I've been I was watching the 2 tutorial videos for the sextant gauge, and in these I highly recommend them if you want to learn how to use it. Very, very comprehensive, very good. But the guy said back in those days, doing stellar navigation, if you got a reading to within 10 nautical miles, if you were able to nail your position to within 10 nautical miles over the ocean, that was considered an accurate reading, which is just like, what? But of course, navigation, navigation on the surface of the sea was much more accurate, apparently, than aerial navigation like
I
that.
guess so, because you always had a horizon, didn't you? Because there's nothing else, so you always had an accurate line
Yeah.
to the stars or the sun from the horizon. So I guess it's more easier than if you're on land that varies.
Well, being up in the aircraft, of course, using a bubble sextant is basically using that bubble, lining that bubble up. That it's like a spirit level. It's the only way you're able to determine what is horizontal or what is level. But it's not as accurate a reading as, I guess, as knowing, this is the actual horizon that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So. But once I get it running, once I get it up and running, it'll be very interesting.
I'll follow that. Yeah. I did enjoy the weather ship ones, but as I say, now they've got the HF ones as well. That was going to be easier. At the two ends.
But on either end, it's going to be easier.
Yeah, I was passing the weather ships quite close.
Yeah.
So I knew exactly where, but once you've left it, before the VORs come in, as I say, I was about 50 out at the other end, which I was quite pleased with. But,
see if I... Oh, there we go. Okay. Show... Oh, my goodness. Show nav rings. Okay.
Show range rings.
Show range rings. I'm just wondering if I can make a custom range ring at 450 nautical miles. That would be good. Remove range rings. Okay. No.
It's just like an NDB, isn't it? So there's no.
Yeah, it's basically like an NDB.
Just an NDB.
So if I pull that up, actually, if I go vehicle, instrument panel, and then radios, that's how I can pull it up. You can see it here, and I've got Shannon. If you click on the blue writing, it cycles between the different stations, and you can see the Shannon station frequency is 390. So I've set 390. You can see the signal strength is rising as I'm getting closer and closer, and if you just twiddle the antenna direction until the needle hits its peak, you can see that we're pretty much flying direct towards Shannon at this point. And then it gives you can turn on these extra details here, and obviously because it's dark at the moment, it's kind of harder to read this text here, but it gives you some gives you some basic wind information, some barometer information, some visibility.
And is it still like the weather ships that you can read in front and behind as well, so you need to know where you are, basically?
Yeah. Let's see if I turn that all the way around. Yeah, you can see as you go 180, it will jump up again. So you have to basically know if you're heading towards. But then, of course, you just look at your compass and you know which way you're orientated. So that hopefully
you know where you are. Yeah.
Shouldn't be too difficult.
Oh, and I'm gonna have another go with those on there and try and get a bit more accurate.
Yeah, it's it's updated to what version was it? Weather ships. So let's just go to the weather ships gauge here. Go to this. Version 1.31. I think it's version 1.32 is listed on the website as being the most updated, but for some reason it didn't give me 1.32, or maybe the manual just says 1.31, but I actually have 1.32.
Go to 1.32. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Get hold of it and give it a go.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was trying to find out the other day was historically, at what points did the weather ships arrive? Because I'm looking for a specific window. I think it's 1941, which is when the BOAC B314 Clippers were flying the transatlantic route from Foynes float plane base to Botwood, which is just next to Gander. So it's essentially the same route, transatlantic, except it's a float plane instead. And they had weather ships back through the war years, but there was only like two or three across the entire Atlantic at that time. And it wasn't until the late 40s, once the war had finished, late 40s, early 50s, that if you're looking at that they started putting so many more out. So okay, let's see. We've just passed our waypoint here.
For that route, it's a shame there's not another. There's Juliet, Charlie, and then nothing. you want another one in there, don't you? Dropped in that place, but
yeah. So I can pretty much just go straight Shannon as 113.3. Let's just put that there. I've seen on the A2A forums posts where people have flown the Constellation in the old SAS livery from Stockholm all the way across to like Boston and New York. But they've gone, because of course it's from Stockholm, it's all the way up across Greenland, Iceland, almost up into the Arctic Circle, and they've done the whole thing with stellar navigation.
wow.
And it's like, wow, that's just got to be, how much time do you have to have on your hands,
I know. Yeah, to sit and do that.
But pretty fun.
Impressive. Yeah, great. When you've mastered that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're reading the winds as well, because obviously that moves around and constantly being blown. There's nothing to correct you for that, automation.
Yeah. But the thing they would do, as far as I know, is they would every I think it was every hour or every 2 hours they would take a stellar. They'd take a bearing off of a star. And then they would plot that, and then of course they would calculate. Oh, okay. Well, this is where I should be, and this is where it's roughly telling me I am. So let's make a course correction so that next time I take a reading, I should be back on course. Yeah. And that's basically how it would work. And I guess it works, And the thing is with crossing the Atlantic is that there's nothing else out there in those days that they might bump into. So it doesn't really matter if they're 50 miles to the right or 50 miles to the left, as long as they're traveling across the Atlantic and not going the wrong way. As long as they're not going to the North Pole, that's what they care about. So.
And they didn't. Were the jet streams understood at that point, or was that a bit later?
They were understood.
Of course,
but not.
Than this can go, isn't it? Usually.
Yeah. I mean, jet streams are what, 30,000 feet ish.
So the colony wouldn't.
Although I think that was the Strata Cruiser.
Well,
I did
not
that
this way. Obviously, you want to avoid them this way.
Yeah.
It's the other way you want to grab on them, isn't it?
So if I go to, I'm not really across the Atlantic at this point. So I'll have a look whenever it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably get the full force. I'm not really going a northerly route. If you have a look, I'm going fairly direct, so I will probably have some headwinds. I've got 24 knots headwind at the moment, but there we go. So in about 60 nautical miles, I'll begin my descent into Shannon.
Yeah.
And my time to get into Shannon is about 40 minutes time, which puts me fair and square at, I'm on schedule to arrive in Shannon at 8 in the evening, and then I don't depart Shannon until 9:45. So I've got an hour and 45 minutes on the ground in Shannon to refuel, rearm. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll take off 9:45 p.m. for Gander,
And then you're in at 7:45.
and then at 7:45 in the morning I'm supposed to arrive in Gander.
Or 5:15 local time.
Yeah, local time 5:15, and then I depart at 8:45 in the morning tomorrow morning from Gander.
That's going to be the hard one. You think, I'm down now, I'm there.
And check this. And check this. You arrive at New York at 2 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there's no sleeping on the job.
No.
Can you imagine?
With this plane, because we've already discussed it takes constant,
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just put the autopilot on.
No.
Go offline, go and have a sleep, and come back in 6 hours.
Exactly. And
see or whatever.
I know in the B314 flying boat, if I go B314 Clipper, if I go to the images, if I get you a picture of the flight deck.
Oh yeah. Is that out yet? Because you were talking about that.
It's not, unfortunately. It's so the cockpit was actually called the bridge, and then you've got the navigation and radio room. But if I actually get you, this is such a beautiful aircraft. I just can't wait to fly this thing. But if I get you an actual photo of the inside, here we go. This is the inside of the cockpit. So that's the cockpit up front. You've got those little curtains, right? But this entire space in the back, the flight engineer sits here, the radio man sits there, the navigator sits over there and has his table. That's a huge... Look, it's got a little spiral staircase. It's got a little staircase going down there as well. It's a huge space. And what...
Like the top bit of a 747, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's bigger than a 7. So it's huge. Yeah. And basically, the way this was flown, I understand it, because I've done a fair amount of research on this so far. That's a crazy photo. That's definitely CGI. As far as I understand it, they had 2 full crews, 2 full
on board at
crews
the same time.
on board at the same time.
Yeah, and they take it in shifts.
And they take it in shifts. So there's two captains, 2 first officers, 2 navigators, 2 radio men, 2 flight engineers. So 10 people just to fly the aircraft.
Yeah.
Not even taking into consideration stewardesses and stewards and stuff like that.
Yeah. Obviously I'd
so
that as well.
So it's a big deal. And
Big
so if you
beast, isn't it?
if you look at that photo again, you can see, if you look carefully, you've got navigation, radio room, and then behind you've got cargo holds, you've got crew quarters, and then baggage hold. So you've got a whole top floor that is not accessed by the passengers. The passengers have no access to that. The passengers are below. They have passenger compartment, galley, passenger compartment, dining lounge, passenger compartment, berths, passenger compartment, ladies' room, passenger compartment, deluxe compartment. Check that. It's brilliant. This is like the height of 1930s, and you see the little graphic of the guy, the crewman, actually inside the engine. My favorite fact of this thing of all time is that the wings were so thick that they actually had gangways or walkways through the wings where you could climb through the wing and service the engine from the inside as it was flying. Oh, it's so cool. It's just ridiculous. I mean,
they've got to model those compartments.
Like, I don't know of any other aircraft on the face of this planet that has that modeling, like has that design. I've never in my life heard of an aircraft where you can service the engines from the inside while they're running. I mean, how cool is that? It was really designed to be thousands of miles away from anyone else.
What about that, the Howard Hughes flying boat that only flew once or something?
Yeah, it only...
type of thing?
Yeah, similar type of thing, a bit bigger. It was the largest flying boat ever designed and built. largest flying boat ever to fly as well, because it did fly for, what was it, like 60 seconds or something across the bay, and then it landed, and then they never did anything with it again. I sometimes wonder a lot, like what would it have been like if history had turned out differently? Maybe what if we didn't have World War I and World War II? We would have still been flying around in airships, in the 30s and 40s, maybe.
Oh yeah. I mean, technology and everything is brought that on, isn't it? How horrible it was. It was great for invention and electronics and transport and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, right. Okay. Right, I'm going to have to leave you for a while because our food has just arrived.
Oh, excellent.
So I'll let you land. And,
of course.
I will catch up. I'll leave the stream running and I'll just pop on board a bit later on.
Sure.
As you've over the
Atlantic. Sure. Well, if you want to just mute your microphone, I'll do the same, and then just come and give me a poke. Yep.
Okay, mate.
Okay. See you later. Bye.
Speak to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's just see what's going on here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay, give us another 10 nautical miles or so, and I will begin descending. Oh, really? Oh. Do we have to be getting... Now, how do we turn this down? Didn't have the pitot heat switch on. That wasn't good. I'm just going to sit on... Yeah, I'm not going to be on Unicom then for that length of time. Yeah, that's fine. Look at that. Okay, we should probably think about descending. Yep. Okay. (1515) manifold pressure, 15 inches manifold, 1500 RPM, and you can see our descent is going to begin. There we go. That's a nice shot. Not sure why we've got these weird black blobs on the panels, but there we are. Hmm. Oh, that's very strange. So YouTube just hasn't been YouTube. I've not actually been streaming on YouTube all along from London, so I'm gonna have to restart the stream when we get to Shannon. Okay. 5 knots at 240. Fuel 2 and broken. 2,800. Okay, so it's going to be changed to a 4. Yeah. Okay, 50 nautical miles. We've got 2, 3, 4,000 feet to descend. That's 500 feet per minute. That's gonna take... Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, we'll restart the stream when we get down into Shannon. So I will probably... I'll restart it and make sure that it works. And then we'll probably get more people joining the stream at that point. Because most people watch on YouTube rather than Twitch. That thing's still going. $148 US for a model. Oh, 84 resin parts. I suppose it's resin. 1095. We'll not set that though until we get closer. Until we go vectors. There we go.
Here we are in Google Earth, and here's Hawaii. Here's our actual aircraft position. I've put a pin on it right here. You can see that pin is sitting right on the runway 35 approach end in Kona. dropped another pin over here. We'll use this for our assumed position when we start our sextant shots. And using the ruler tool, if I measure, well, wait a minute, we're in the circle. We don't want that. Go to the line tool. If we measure, you can see that our assumed position is about 43, 44 miles away from our actual position. That'll yield some useful real-world shots. Before we start using the sextant, one thing I want to tell you, because it took me a while to figure out and it gave me fits. If you do decide to use Google Earth for this, there's one setting you might want to change. Go up here, Tools, Options, and under 3D View here, right down here under Terrain, do is enter your, now you've got your Zulu. Let's take our first shot. And if you look at the sextant here, this is basically a worksheet. You fill it out, you get down to the bottom, and then you click over here to take your shot.
Okay, so getting down nice and low now. Got 30 miles to our destination. So, yeah. At this point, I want to hit 3,000 and not go below 3,000 at all. So that's 1095. That's 239 on the course. So the localizer is 239. There we go. And we have our ILS, we have our localizers just come online. And we're going to come down and do a beautiful landing in Shannon in the dead of night. At least that's what I hope. There we go. Oh no! I have a crying baby. Shh. Landing in 12 minutes. So we're going to be landing bang on 8 o'clock, which is right on schedule. Despite the fact that we left a little bit late from Heathrow. But I don't mind being early. In fact, I could have a wee snooze while I'm on the ground at Gander tomorrow morning. That's doing a good job. Everything's going well. Flight time 1 hour 25 minutes. Systems to watch. Engine 2 is 184 Celsius. Engines appear to be healthy. Excellent. I like me some healthy engines. Okay, there's the glide slope, and the ILS have just come in. That's good. Not long now. Let's get my feet on the rudder pedals and get ready for shooting a manual ILS. Let's get track IR working again. Is there an ADF? No, there is no ADF here. There's an ADF at Foynes. A little bit blustery. Should be able to see the runway in the night sky. Should be, the airport should be off to the left hand side in that direction. I think that might be the end of the runway just there. Could be, but doesn't look. Okay. You can take over manual control now. There's the ILS, I see it. Let's put my nose wheel light on, like. $160 knots. $120 knots. Flaps 10. 1 notch down. There's the localizer alive. That localizer isn't set up right. I don't know that Little Nav Map has accurately given me the right localizer fix, as I look like I'm dead center line and that's off to one side. We'll see. I'm a little bit low, but that's okay. There we go, it's coming in now. Glide slip's coming in nicely. But I don't know that I set up that localizer correctly. This might be one of the smoothest landings I've ever... smoothest approaches, I should say, that I've ever done in the Connie. (7:57 p.m.) 3 minutes early. Very stable. Very little control inputs needed right now. I thought that was a good landing. Right, taxi to the gate, get on the chocks, and let's look at getting the stream restarted. And then I can go use the bathroom again, go get a snack, freshen up for the transatlantic leg. Turn the strobe off while we're at it. The passing light as well. Vacate on Alpha.
Hello again from the flight deck. We're now taxiing back to the terminal. Please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened until the aircraft comes to a complete stop. On behalf of the entire crew, we thank you for flying with us, and please come see us again.
Eight o'clock. There we go. Taxiing onto stand. Right on time.
Shutting down systems.
Okay, we're on the GPU. Let's just turn off the nose light. And I am just going to go use the bathroom, come back and get things sorted. Okay.